When the Philippines abruptly announced the emergency procurement of 20 South Korean KF-21 fighter jets, even displacing Indonesia, a project partner, from its priority delivery sequence, a question naturally arose. What aerial threat is Manila preparing for that necessitates such urgent acquisition of this near fifth-generation fighter? This move reflects not merely equipment modernization, but also subtly shifting regional security dynamics and proactive adjustments to Philippine military strategy. In fact, this batch of KF-21s is projected to complete delivery by 2027, with initial operational capability anticipated between 2028 and 2029. Such a compressed timeline is highly unusual in modern advanced fighter procurement, signaling Manila's urgent need to rapidly enhance its air combat capabilities. This urgency stems not only from the long-standing weakness of its air force, but also from its increasingly assertive stance in the South China Sea and its complex mindset of seeking external support. Delving deeper, the Philippines' selection of the KF-21 prioritizes its unique scalability. While the initial delivery variant remains within the 4.5 generation category, featuring external weapon carriage and non-full stealth design, its airframe structure, avionics architecture, and sensor systems all incorporate upgrade pathways aligned with 5th generation standards. South Korea has explicitly outlined plans to integrate internal weapon bays and full coverage stealth coatings into the KF-21 by the early 2030s, thereby achieving its transformation into a fully fledged 5th generation fighter. For the Philippines, this represents a single investment yielding phased returns. Immediately acquiring a modern fighter with beyond visual range air combat capability addresses the urgent need to replace aging mainstay aircraft and bridge a capability gap. Future incremental upgrades could elevate the nation into the ranks of stealth fighter operators, a 2-for-1 benefit. This approach, first addressing basic capability gaps before pursuing high-end technology, holds significant appeal for smaller nations with limited budgets yet ambitious technological aspirations. However, this futures-oriented combat enhancement carries inherent risks. It remains uncertain whether South Korea's domestic aerospace industry can meet all complex technical upgrade milestones on schedule and with guaranteed quality, particularly the engineering integration of internal weapon bays and full-spectrum stealth coatings. To some extent, the Philippines has staked a crucial step in its Air Force modernization on the sustained success of South Korea's defense industry. Cost-effectiveness is another key driver, with the KF-21 estimated at $85 million to $100 million per unit, seemingly comparable to certain new or used F-16s. The Philippines has already established a maintenance framework, ground support systems, and pilot training protocols for Korean-made fighters through its acquisition of F-50 light attack aircraft. Opting for equipment from the same source significantly reduces the complexity and additional costs of subsequent operations and maintenance, enabling the intensive use of support resources. Conversely, switching to the American-made F-16, while offering a mature platform and extensive supply chain, would require building an entirely new independent logistics ecosystem from scratch. The long-term investment could far exceed the purchase price of the airframes. For the Philippines, with its limited defense budget, this is undoubtedly a crucial factor in the decision-making balance. Additionally, South Korea often offers flexible financing solutions and technology transfer terms for defense exports. For the Philippines, which seeks to gradually build aviation industry expertise, this represents a deeper cooperative dimension than a simple aircraft purchase. It is noteworthy that despite KF-21's claim of being domestically developed, its core subsystems, including ejection seats, portions of avionics, and even key designs, rely heavily on Western technological support. This raises potential questions about the stability of its international supply chain and operational reliability during wartime. The Philippines' choice essentially represents a strategic gamble, opting for a hybrid system integrating multinational technologies from South Korea as the backbone of its Air Force future, rather than adhering to the traditional US-centric equipment framework. From a tactical performance perspective, the KF-21s procured by the Philippines focus on air superiority missions without emphasizing anti-ship or ground attack capabilities. This precisely reveals the operational scenario they prioritize: contesting regional air dominance. Equipped with an Israeli-supported active, phased array radar comparable in overall performance to the US-made PG-83, and paired with European Meteor long-range air-to-air missiles, this acquisition grants the Philippine Air Force its first reliable medium to long-range air interception and engagement capability, a development of immense significance. Previously, Philippine fighter aircraft primarily engaged in close-range dogfights and limited ground support. revealing a clear generational disadvantage against increasingly modernized air forces in the region. The introduction of the KF-21, at least in terms of equipment specifications, narrows this technological gap, providing the Philippines with new tools for confrontation and deterrence in disputed airspace. However, modern air combat is far more complex than a simple comparison of paper specifications. The KF-21 currently lacks stealth capabilities, and its radar signature is pronounced. With the support of early warning systems, it can be easily detected by long-range radars well in advance. While its Meteor missiles boast advanced performance, the outcome of beyond visual range air combat hinges more critically on the overall effectiveness of the combat system. This encompasses the air situation awareness capabilities of early warning command aircraft, the speed of data fusion and distribution via data links, the support and suppression provided by electronic warfare aircraft, and the tactical proficiency of pilots under high-intensity combat conditions. The Philippines' development of these supporting systems remains at a relatively rudimentary stage, making it difficult to rapidly establish a system-level combat capability commensurate with advanced fighters. In other words, a standalone KF-21 fleet, lacking robust systemic support, would see its actual combat effectiveness significantly diminished, potentially becoming an expensive isolated entity. So, does the impending deployment of KF-21s to the Philippines necessitate the use of top-tier stealth fighters like the J-20? The answer is no. Strategically, it would be overkill, and tactically, it is unnecessary. Even equipped with Meteor missiles and active, phased array radars, the KF-21's radar cross-section and non-stealth mode far exceeds that of fifth-generation fighters, casting doubt on its battlefield survivability within system-on-system combat. China's current J-10C and J-16 fighters, equipped with domestically developed active, phased array radars and PL-15 long-range air-to-air missiles, hold asymmetric advantages over the KF-21 in detection range, anti-jamming capabilities, weapon range, and effectiveness. The J-10C, as a medium-sized fourth-and-a-half-generation fighter, excels in maneuverability and electronic warfare capabilities. The J-16, as a heavy multi-role fighter, boasts overwhelming payload capacity and endurance. With comprehensive support from early warning aircraft like the KJ-500, ground-based anti-stealth radars, and space-based intelligence systems, these fighters can achieve early detection, early lock-on, and early engagement before the KF-21 enters effective attack range. Not to mention true fifth-generation fighters like the J-20, whose stealth penetration, situational awareness, and network-centric warfare capabilities would deliver a decisive blow against targets like the KF-21. The J-20 can leverage its stealth advantage to penetrate enemy air defense perimeters, deliver lethal close-range strikes, or function as an information node directing other platforms for beyond visual range attacks while remaining in relatively secure zones. Therefore, the Philippines' move should be viewed less as a countermeasure against the J-20 and more as a posture to advance military modernization, seek regional power balance, and project psychological deterrence. While the KF-21's arrival will indeed alter the air power balance in the northern South China Sea, increasing tactical complexity and uncertainty, its technological limitations prevent it from fundamentally shifting the strategic landscape. This military procurement resembles a meticulously calculated move, urgently patching air defense vulnerabilities while investing in the future, leveraging allied technological networks while asserting strategic autonomy, appeasing domestic military interests and boosting morale internally, while externally signaling resolve to strengthen defense cooperation. The skies over the South China Sea are destined to become a stage for system-on-system confrontation. Whether the Philippines can effectively integrate its new fighter jets into a broader cooperative framework and enhance corresponding system-level combat capabilities will be a more significant challenge than the acquisition of the 20 aircraft itself.